Michele De Lucchi, a very interesting architect himself, with a very interesting beard and interesting eyeglasses. Another, exotic figure in the pantheon of very talented and provocative Italian designers and architects. Michele De Lucchi, happy birthday to you, sir. Here he is again, and again, and an interesting man, actually, and maybe working in a rather, I would say, solitary way, although he has some very big buildings, on his CV. I like very much this picture of him, truly so unassuming, almost like an abandoned child here, in front of his building. Michele De Lucchi, born the 8th of November 1951, is an Italian architect and designer. Happy birthday to him. De Lucchi was born in, already said, in Ferrara, and graduated in architecture from Florence. During the period of radical and experimental architecture, he was a prominent figure in movements such as Cavar, Studio, Alchemia, and Memphis. De Lucchi has designed lamps and furniture for well-known Italian and European companies such as Artemide Olivetti, alias Unifor Hermes, and Alessi. For Olivetti, he was director of design from 1988 to 2002 and developed experimental projects for Compaq Computers, Philips, Siemens, and Vitra. During this period, he developed a number of theories on the evolution of workplaces. Fortunately, this thing. He has designed and restored buildings in Japan for NTT, in Germany for Deutsche Bank, in Switzerland for Novartis, and in Italy for Enel, Olivetti, Piaggio, Poste Italiane, and Telecom Italia. In 1999, he was appointed to renovate a number of Enel, the Italian electricity company, power plants. For Deutsche Bank, Deutsche Bundesbahn, Enel, Poste Italia, Telecom Italia, Hera, Intesa San Paolo, and other Italian and foreign banks, he collaborated on the development of corporate image, introducing technical and aesthetic innovation into the workplace. Kind of strange that a man looking so, unconventionally, he actually collaborated with, heavy duty, institutions or companies. Anyway, drawings. His drawings are, ludic. They are, but here you don't see a sketch. Here you see a sketch. And there is some distance between this and this. This is showing a joyous world, but we saw the face of the man, and this is not a man who only knew pleasure in life. But his representations of design are very ludic, and with some, you'll say almost cartoon-like. But if we look at this sketch, which is done with maybe a pencil, a grayish pencil, a black pencil, or whatever, the building is rather, a little bit depressed, I would say. I like his pencil drawings more than the colored ones. Yes, he obviously has a strong artistic side. That's not how a typical designer draws. But he's a thinker, actually, who employs the visual material to advance his thoughts. He looks like a serious man, actually. But his works, just kind of like Gaetano Pesce, are very experimental, and some of them might appear even a little bit crazy, so to speak. Like look at this sketch. What does it mean? What does it say? But then he has these more rendered depictions of his ideas, of his world, and they are devoid of the hesitations and the darkness of the first intuitions, like here, for example. Interesting designer and interesting architect. And now we arrive at some of his buildings, and he did build significantly as opposed to Gaetano Pesce. Il Tronco office building from this Pforzheim in Germany, 2009, 2012. I like this building. It's very close at being almost a rationalist building, but look at what he does here. You know, it's changing everything, actually, because he is bringing unreason into a building which would have been celebrating just reason, despite the curvature. So an interesting building, I would say. So this was built in Germany. And it does look like an institutional building, a corporate building even, but a corporate building which welcomes some problematization, which is derived from the way he does this elevation here. Michele De Lucchi. It's reason welcoming unreason, Earth stations. Now this is a utopian project because a dreamer like Michele De Lucchi also, indulges in Earth stations wherever they were meant to be built. So let me try to read a little bit here. Earth stations are active architectures that form networks which are easy to reach and are built in places that form and regenerate urban and infrastructural nodes. They respond to our evolving lifestyles where artificial intelligence increasingly frees man from bureaucratic and repetitive tasks, establishing an opportunity to create places that express personal freedom and harness the enormous potential of technology. They are designed to respect our environment, and by definition, everything that happens inside continues to impact their evolution and adoption. They are organized to promote walking and casual encounters, which is the best method of creating ideas and interaction. Let's read this again. They are organized to promote walking and casual encounters, which is the best method of creating ideas and interaction. They are places that dissolve traditional notions of ownership and instead help spread shared and circular economies. And they come from exploring humanistic qualities in architecture, which are influenced by atmospheric and sensorial experiences rather than purely the formal or visual definition of space. They promote a continuous stream of mobility and communication that inspire formal and informal events, supported by workshops and technologies for new forms of expression. Anyway, it's a text that I guess in a way tries to sell an idea. Mode station. The mode station is located in a natural environment and creates an immense covered meeting place at the intersection of timeless paths and routes. It is free-flowing. It is a free-flowing so-called circus like enclosure and is partially submerged into the landscape to reduce its scale from outside and help protect its internal. I don't know. The language is trying, I think, too hard to sell something, an idea. The internal conical structures form agora-like spaces that use advanced technologies to support and broadcast events and strategic thinking. The mode station is for the evolution of broadcasting media. And this is the project. It's clear that Michele De Lucchi has too much time, free time at his disposal, so he can propose something like this. But we need these dreamers, because without them, life would be really unacceptably boring. The mountain station, perched on top of a monolithic natural form, the mountain station creates a dynamic space arrived by a cable car from below. It's draped out of membrane, reflects and breathes, creating a sheltered internal climate that responds to any extreme external weather. With breathtaking views and a relaxed layout, it encourages casual encounters, again, casual encounters between those who seek to live urban life and find inspiration from the landscape and tranquility of the mountains. The mountain station provides spaces literally for summit conferences. Well, yes, it's easy to, in a model, it's more difficult when you want to build it. But anyway, the floating soak station is a raft anchored near a coastal. I'm beginning to be tired of these explanations, where work and social connections arise through the idea of human diversity and the dynamics of change. Is a market of ideas. This I'm beginning to like. Reached by pontoon or boat, it creates a new form of metropolitan island with an undulating, translucent urban skyline. As a modular composition of elements, the soap can adapt and reconfigure in relation to evolving technologies, specific events, and different expressions of human contact. The floating soak station is a market of ideas. So, well, kind of a dangerously positioned market of ideas. Danger is certainly flirted with here. The crown station, a double bridge whose regal form and commanding position express a sense of triumph and intellect. Its oval plan not only connects adjacent cliffs, but also provides alternative inner paths around groups of event and study spaces. As a metaphorical bridge, it houses a printed and digital library, allowing you to connect your own ideas to those of others. The crown station is an evolution of the library. You see, the man is pushing the frontiers of architecture. And this is something we should all do, really. You know, enough with that boring, dry, gray functionalism. We need to bring new ideas to the fore. And I'm sure there is enough intelligence in the world and temperament and talent to do so. We just need to encourage ourselves, because society is not encouraging us. The city station, surrounded by major transit routes, the city station is composed of a ring of craft and digital laboratories. He's dreaming. Here he's dreaming, but I see here some kind of a medieval city, a citadel, which is kind of interesting. It's a citadel surrounded by the invaders, the cars. The cloud station is an atmospheric architecture that offers a complete contrast with its surroundings. Don't worry, we'll arrive at some other buildings like this one, UniCredit Pavilion in Milano. It was built. I'm talking about this building here. Now, of course, this look a little bit less interesting than his utopian projects. No, this is a project, but I don't know if it was built. I thought it was built. Anyway, it's very buildable if it was not built. I think it was built. Anyway, you see, very well designed, very technical, very everything. The man knows how to build. And he believes in technology, which usually is not the case for people with his poetical openness towards architecture. It was built. Michele De Lucchi used salvaged wood for hotel building in South Tyrol in Austria. I don't know. I mean, why not? Why not?
Dan, the outside looks like some houses I'd seen in Cambridge, some traditional houses.
Yeah, it's possible. There are all kinds of influences, and it's still Europe, Cambridge or Austria, I guess. Anyway, houses, architecture. I don't know if he designed the chairs too. Kind of interesting, this chair here. It's possible. A lot of wood. I'm not teased with cutting down forests to build so much, but a lot of wood, as you can see. Everything covered in wood. I don't know what this thing is here. I hope it's not by him. Law court in Georgia, 2009, 2011. It's very possible that thing is also by him, because I see it's kind of the same aesthetics, like this law court, strange building somehow. Is a little bit strange. I mean, if I have to use this word, I could use it also for Gaetano Pesce. Anyway, it was built in Georgia, of all places. I wonder what the symbolism of this is. You know, it's almost like like a bomb or a rocket falling on the court building. Maybe it's a reference to the last punishment, the last judgment. Yeah, it's a court building, so you better be careful when you go inside these buildings. Yeah. Now, a pavilion at Expo Milano 2015. This building is good, I think. I mean, it's an expo building. It's an expositional, it's for exhibits. But I think it has some, despite, no, despite. The sketch is as it is, but the building has some qualities. Here is the functional plan, so to speak. And sketches, sections through the building, and study of the facade of the module he used. And here is, another perspectival sketch. I wonder if the building was built on these sketches. No, probably not, because we saw some very elaborated working drawings. Michele De Lucchi. I actually like these monochrome drawings he has, and the building, I think it's good for this kind of building, for this kind of function. I think and it's serious enough. It could have been another Walt Disney melodrama, but it's not. So I guess as a strategy, as an architect, you just try to become very well known, and then commissions arrive to you, and that's it. You can build a lot. Because we live in a world dominated by publicity. If you don't make that big noise around what you do, of course you have to have significant work, but the publicity is very important. It's an interesting building, this one, actually, and not illogical. I mean, you see here repetition, rhythm, and structure, and so on. Michele De Lucchi and the Academy students, this joined forces for Milan's suburbs, some kind of a market in the open air. they designed together or they built together, him and the students. This is a rendering. I don't know if it was built or not. Il Centro shopping mall. Again, Michele De Lucchi. It was built. And not bad, for a shopping mall. It has some seriousness, if not gravity. So it's kind of interesting that a dreamer like him also built, large buildings for very lucrative businesses, like shopping malls. I don't know what to think about these columns. They are a little bit too glorious in their size, but maybe he was exasperated by the function of the building, and I would be too. I don't think he did a great job here. What can we say? It's a shopping mall. That's what it is, and this cannot be hidden. Nor did he try to hide it, but it's a very large building, as you can see. Well, shopping malls are generally large because why in our world? I shop, therefore I am, as Barbara Kruger said. So in order to be, you have to shop. Look at the building, it's huge. Consume, 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 and then produce, 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 and then you consume, consume, consume. This is capitalism, right? The more we consume, the more we have to produce. And the more we produce, the more we have to consume. Designs. I already showed some designs, but these are real, so-called real designs. Although they are also, quasi designs because they are so deliciously cartoon-like and joyous and ludic that somehow you don't even feel like touching it or using it for any. I mean, these lamps, yes, but they are so expensive that you better stay away from them, because he collaborated with very, big names in manufacturing, and Italy has a very, potent and sophisticated and expensive companies that produce things. This is not my taste, far from it, but what can we say? I guess it's his taste. This first chair is quite well known. I don't know why it's called first chair, maybe because it was the first chair he designed in 1983. At that time, postmodernism was ravishing the world. This chair from 2001 is not bad, I would say, and it's a folding chair. But some of these things, built in the 80s and early 90s are questionably touched by postmodernism. This was a very published chair. I don't know what to think of it. It's another chair by him, but this one is, I don't understand. Are we looking at the back or at the front? If we are looking at the front, you can sit on it. If we are looking at the back, and yes, we are looking at the back, but somehow the back, let me see, I don't see another view from the other side. Anyway, some shelving system, ludic and, moderately stable. Another so-called column with shelves. Of course, you can design anything. Another chair, a little bit idiosyncratic, a little bit strange, but also, referring to a tradition of doing chairs in a rather, aristocratic way, probably with good materials, good wood. This one as well. They craft very well, these companies in Italy, and they are very expensive. There is a strangeness about his designs in general. I know the word strangeness is not very telling in a way. No serious critic would use such words, but I'm not a critic, and please allow me to express myself accordingly. A strange bench, again, the word strange.
Then this bench is such that two people sitting, they would be sitting back to back. One would be on the other side and one on this side. So I think they can talk with each other in that manner rather than sitting
They
side
could
by
also
side.
sit one near the other. Like
No, this is like one sits here while the other will be back to back with him on the other side. That's how I see it.
Yeah, but again, you can have one person sit here and another person sit here, and they are
Yeah, but okay.
near each other. But I understand what you say. Yeah, that is possible too. And that's it. Happy birthday, Michele De Lucchi. And with this, we ended our meeting today. And